Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show, and I'm here talking about some wrestling news. I haven't really done a wrestling news video in probably a few weeks, maybe a week or two. But there's actually a lot of news that I want to talk about here, some interesting stuff that I want to talk about. It's probably been a week or so since I've done or like maybe 5 or 6 days since I've done a wrestling news, so the end of this. So, what I want to talk about is CM Punk. So, a lot of people are hoping for a CM Punk return tomorrow at Survivor Series War Games. And maybe they're keeping it a secret, trying to keep it as good a secret as they can, but I just don't know. Because he put on his Instagram story like a remastered version of, Cult's personality, which kind of hints that he probably won't be there. And I hate to say it, I hate to break it to people who want to see Punk come back. I mean, I kind of do, but it ain't going to happen. Just be thankful we have Randy Orton. I mean, I've never seen Randy Orton because he's been out for like a year and a half. But this is part of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. What part of Dave Meltzer? Take it with a grain of salt from Wrestling Observer newsletter. Take this with a grain of salt from Mr. Meltzer. It's a fancy way of saying I don't know shit of it. So basically saying we've seen no evidence of it. WWE's blatantly been putting random stuff out there for weeks. Dave Meltzer, Wrestling Observer newsletter, really didn't say much here. I don't think he's coming back, or at least right as of now. Of course they're going to deny it. But basically, those close to the situation denied it, and Wrestling Observer newsletter, so we've seen no evidence this is happening, seen Punk returning this weekend, and those close to the situation have denied it. But it's possible it's a well-kept secret. I hope it's a well-kept secret, because I want to see him return, but hey, I'm just thankful we have Randy Orton. But they've been putting stuff out there for weeks. To say we've seen no evidence of it, it's kind of not correct. But of course they're going to deny it. You're not going to spoil a big return if it's going to happen, if it does. But I do believe there's a chance he show up to face Nakamura. Because look at all the tease that Nakamura's been doing. I mean, I know original move was Kenta, done the GTS that Nakamura's been doing, but he wouldn't do that for no reason. Nakamura's been saying, and those teases are mentioning towards CM Punk. WWE knows what they're doing, and maybe they're trying to keep it a secret to surprise us. We'll just see. I'm not going to say if he's going to return or not. I'm just going to watch. If he doesn't, then I'm not going to be too mad, because we got Randy Orton, one of the best of all time. So, I'm happy. So, per Wrestling Observer newsletter as well, Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo are expected to join forces with Santos Escobar. It's about time. It's about damn time they gave these guys a legit push. I think it's a great pairing, with Santos Escobar. So they just turned Santos Escobar heel. There's one more piece of the puzzle left. Bring back Elektra Lopez. And we'll have that full group back. So I think this pair will be massive. Because I really like that idea. Now put Elektra Lopez back with him, so we can stare at her. That's really a pairing. I think it probably will happen. It's expected. Don't know when, but apparently they're expected to join forces with Santos Escobar at some point. Dave Meltzer awarded the Swerve Strickland versus Adam Page a 5-star rating. It was a good. I mean, I really enjoyed that match. I thought it was really good. I mean, I know people say probably didn't like it because there's too much blood. Oh well, if you don't like it, don't watch. That was a really good match. A great match, storytelling, insane spots. So WWE, they are not planning a rematch between Roman Reigns and LA Knight for the Royal Rumble. Per the Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE, quote, have a different plan in mind. So they're not planning a rematch here between Roman Reigns and LA Knight for the Royal Rumble, and they currently have a plan in mind, but what is that plan? Well, Roman's going to be on the card. Even though he's not advertised for the card, he's going to be on it. He'll 100% be on the show. He's not missing the Royal Rumble. And I'm guessing AJ, if they're not running it back with LA Knight, probably explains why they're keeping AJ off TV until the build to the Rumble. Because maybe they could have another banger match. Because Roman Reigns and AJ Styles have had some really good matches. Remember, I think which one I remember? I think it's Extreme Rules or something. Or Payback or whatever. They've had some really good matches in the past. So, maybe AJ could bring the best out of them. I think it's probably going to be AJ Styles. Most likely. I mean, I think it's kind of obvious, because it should be AJ Styles, there's no point of a rematch for LA Knight to lose. And yeah, I know AJ's gonna lose, but it's a different match. But I don't know, I just want to see Roman lose. And I just want to see LA Knight get something good at the Royal Rumble. So on the Busted Open Radio, Bully Ray believes Jade Cargill should officially debut at the Royal Rumble and win the whole damn thing on the Busted Open Radio. I mean, winning the Royal Rumble sounds like a pretty good way to prove yourself. But being able to throw somebody over the top rope is not an indication that you're a good wrestler, whether you're receiving a title shot at WrestleMania. But she might debut before the Royal Rumble, I mean. But they might have her in the final few and get eliminated. But I'll be able to say, oh, Liv Morgan, she's not believable enough to dethrone Rhea Ripley. But you can't just have somebody win that hasn't even wrestled yet. But I'm sure she's going to debut even before the Royal Rumble to prove she can wrestle. But she's probably still in the Performance Center or whatever. And I probably debut her at the Rumble, get eliminated by someone that glares at her really hard afterward when she's on the floor. Yada yada yada. Have a match at WrestleMania. Maybe Charlotte, Becky. Maybe Charlotte, because they did have like a little stare down backstage on SmackDown a few weeks ago. That could happen. Maybe Sasha, maybe Mercedes Moné back to WWE now that Hunter's in charge of the whole thing. I don't know. But by the time Rumble comes around, she would be like 4+ months with WWE. I'm sure she'll even wrestle before the Rumble. Like, is she really not gonna like wrestle before then? Almost 16,000 fans are expected for #SmackDown tonight, WrestleTix. It's going to be a fun weekend in Chicago for the WWE fans. The program for this year's Survivor Series features 2 teams that are currently not featured on the main roster. Those are Gallus and Authors of Pain WrestleVotes. It's basically like a magazine talking about the roster and the match card. I don't know about Gallus. I don't really care for him. AOP is still WWE. I kind of forgot about that, honestly. So, WWE have confirmed that Survivor Series will have a post-show press conference. So they're going to have a post-show like press conference. You have CM Punk return and have a media scrum. I don't know if he's going to come back. WWE have now sold over 17,000 tickets for Survivor Series. So 16,000 people are going to be in attendance for SmackDown tonight. 17,000 for Survivor Series. Triple H on the current WWE roster, he basically talked about from Sports Illustrated. He said, and the way our talent operates is different from other generations. They want to go out there and put on the best possible show they can. A lot of these kids are already invested. They grew up wanting to do this. And if they didn't, they fell in love with it by learning from people who grew up wanting to be in this business. That's how they learned to respect it. That's how they learn the respect for it. To me, that's what makes you successful. That's connection with our fan base, and that's a big part of our core. It's a great time to be a pro wrestling fan, WWE especially. We've come a long way over the last few years ever since Vince McMahon's out of power, got Triple H back. Shows are much more enjoyable to watch, the matches are better. I think the wrestlers in WWE respect the business more than they did a few years ago, because, you know, Vince McMahon, it's kind of hard to respect it. But even Logan Paul hasn't even been doing it for 5 years, has so much respect for the business, he's only been there for like a year. It's case in point, say Logan Paul, who's an excellent wrestler. And Vince slowly stepping away from trade was the best thing that could have happened to WWE. What he did in his time was great, but he's honestly out of touch with today's audience. So, yeah. So Billboard, Jey Uso has his eyes set on becoming Intercontinental Champion. I think a good singles run. I think if he were Gunther would work insanely well. I heard they had a good dark match. I think that will cook. Getting a solo run with a title would help establish him as a singles competitor. He's a really good singles competitor. I don't know, in the long term, I don't think he'll be a future world champion, but Intercontinental Champion would work for me. I think he's one of the best options to dethrone Gunther, because I think the fan base would like it. I'll stay for this wrestling news video, so until next time, peace.